How are you? Good morning, afternoon, or night. I don't know at what time you are watching this video. But today, because some of my students ask me, is about the questions about different variable types. Specific about marketing research. And why we are taking this subject. Because there are a lot of doubts about which type of variable we should use, when it is used, and sometimes they are quite confusing. I want to start with something. The idea of giving a variable to a data is to analyze it. We are talking about quantitative data analysis. So that is a reason. We are not just assigning variable types because we want to put a name to them. No, we want to analyze them. How we are going to make the analysis? Through statistics. So that is the main reason. So when we are talking about variable types, when we are talking about data analysis, the idea is that we are able to assign a label, a measure, a distance, a relation to our data. So mainly you are going to be applying surveys or questionnaires. After that, you are going to be grouping them, analyzing them, making a classification. What for? The idea is that you are able to report the results. So that way, you are going to be offering the output. Okay? So now, let's get started. And the first part of it is who is assigning, who is giving this value. This is very, very important because you are going to find a lot of different videos on the internet. Today, a lot of people are creating blogs, videos, text, information about all kind of subjects. But now the question is, what is the validity of it? Why they are making this information? What they are doing it? Is just because they want to get known? Is because they want to have fun of it? This is very important. I study and I get that certification out of CIMAT. CIMAT is the #1 math center in Mexico and one of the most known in Latin America and I would say in the world. So this is very important because you have to always ask yourself, who is giving me this information? Where does this information come from? Can I trust it? Okay, so I want to leave you with this. I studied, I make the lesson for today, so I am presenting it. Okay, so let's get started. And we will start with which are the different variable types. Okay, we have 4 different ones. Ratio, interval, ordinal, nominal. Okay, so then we can go. I'm going to go with each one of them, okay? So then the idea and the question is which one we are going to be using. So here we have the 4 of them. So I'm going to start, why I'm choosing to start with ratio? Because that one is the most complete one. So that is the reason that I want to start with it. Why ratio? Because ratio is the variable that has many, the most features, the most function of them. So let's start defining ratio. The main function, the main reason for the ratio variable is to measure. We are going to measure the attribute of that characteristic, any one of them. It has order, it has distance, but also it has relation. It can be related between the different measurements that we are doing. And it has an absence 0. 0 means you don't have that characteristic. You don't have that attribute of what you are measuring. Okay, so that is ratio, and ratio is the variable that has the most quantity, and also that it can be analyzed in a lot of different ways. Okay, so that is ratio. Now, what is interval? Interval sometimes is kind of confusing. Indeed, that is the reason that I'm making this video, because a lot of you told me, what is interval? So I received emails and comments of some students about, I've seen that interval, maybe it shouldn't exist. But interval is one of the ways that we can measure things. I know it's kind of confusing. So let's get to it. The interval has the ability to compare, that is the main function of it. It has order and distance, but it is not able to create a relation meaning that we can correlate them in a way that it is twice, third, 4 times the magnitude of the other one, okay? So it is not the ratio between them. And the zero doesn't mean the absent, it doesn't have a zero reference. So that is mainly the definition about it. Okay, now, what is the order, the ordinal one? You can only rank things. It has an order, but it doesn't have distance nor relation. That order is a strict one. You cannot change it, but nothing else. Only an order. And now we have the nominal one. What about the nominal? Okay, in the nominal one, it didn't change the presentation. Right there, sorry for that, nominal. In the nominal, the only thing that you can do is count them. It doesn't have order, neither distance nor relation. Its main function is to label the cases. Why we are going to be labeling the cases? Because we want to make a frequency. We want that to count them. Mainly the statistics that we are going to be using is frequency. Okay, so now let's get to some examples of it. So in this one, we want to get to some examples. What about the ratio one? In ratio, you can use it for age, income, or expenses. Interval is a very good one. So I've heard, and some of you said, we are only looking interval in temperature. So I start making a research about it and get, apart from temperature, what else? Okay, one of them is IQ. Why IQ? Because if you have 10 points more of IQ, it doesn't mean that you are going to be double or triple intelligent. No, you are more. But there is not that kind of ratio relation. All of the ranges, each and every one of the ranges. So every time you create a range, this means that you can go from 10 to 20, 20 to 25. Every range is an interval. Also wellness. If you are trying to assign a wellness quantity, it doesn't mean you can rank it, you can order it, you can make the distance, but not that kind of double triple relation. Also zero doesn't mean the absence. Okay? So that is why the IQ, all of ranges and wellness, they are interval. I try to avoid the in the interval one, the temperature. Why? Because that is the one that is mostly used. Now, ordinal ones. In these ones, you can only rank them. You can only put an order to them, like socio-economical status. All Likert scales, all of them are ordinal. Satisfaction levels, also. By the end, nominal ones. Well, gender, yes, of course. Preferences. Cities, you can only label them obviously countries, a lot of geographic attributes, okay? So then we have right here 4 different examples that you can be using. There is this special case, and this special case is the dichotomous variable. Why this is a special one? Because this one is a nominal one. Don't forget, this one is nominal, but it has 2 options. Yes or no, male or female, agree or disagree. But it can be analyzed as ratio, okay? So it is not a ratio one, it is a nominal one, but you can analyze it as a ratio. So that is why this is a very, very special kind of variable. In this case, you are going to be able to create relations. Why? Why can you create some kind of relations with this one? Well, in the dichotomous one, you can say that if you have 40% of male, you have 60% of female. If you have 70% of yes, you have 30% of no. One result explains the other one. That is why we can analyze it as if it is radio, but it is not a radio one. It is a nominal one, okay? So that is about data analysis variable types. Happy coding. Use it to create your own different scales. Use these ideas to apply to your surveys. Remember that the idea of this is that you are able to analyze data in a quantitative way. You are going to be analyzing the different attributes or characteristics that you are obtaining. How to do it, okay? That is the reason. That is why we are doing that. Okay, so then, happy coding. Please do not forget to subscribe. I'm going to be more than happy to create more videos for you about data analysis, about entrepreneur, sometimes in English, sometimes in Spanish. Okay, so it was great to have you right here, and see you in the next video.